here we are at Tactical Tourist. Now, the reason why I'm down here today is because it is, I don't know, phase 2, phase 3, whatever phase, it's down here now where the canopy is on the truck and we've got to start wiring up. It is, I reckon it's the biggest part of the job, I reckon, because there's a lot of wiring to be done and getting things right, getting things in the right position, getting the right amount of amp hours in your batteries and the right batteries and the air system. The air system in this truck is going to be insane. I've just picked up a tyre spider from Clearview and I'm gonna ask Jake to try and install that into this truck because I've come up with this clever way of making it even better than it is. So little things like that, where the fridge goes, where you put the Redarc inverter as opposed to the Manager 30, where all these things come into play, where the solar panels mount, where the lights mount, where you put a plug in, where you put the radio. It doesn't sound like much, but at the end of the day, unless you get those ergonomics correct and in the right place, I'll tell you now, you're going to spend a lot of miles in this truck going, yeah, that doesn't really work for me. And you can't change it once that's done. So I've got to get it right. Now, I've used all those years of experience from setting up canopies and touring Australia. As you know, if you've watched it all, I'm going to take all that experience and I'm going to pour that into this new 200 series and it will become the ultimate tourer if you want to travel Australia.
We got Jason's car here for the next season build. And at the moment, we're just setting up the canopy side of things for all the wiring. So Jason's got a mountain of gear going in this thing. And as you can imagine, they do a lot of charging at night with their cameras, laptops, all that sort of stuff. So this particular canopy is getting one of our more extreme sort of packages. So here at Tactical, we do a range of different packages for people that are just doing weekend traveling, right up to the people who are like Jace, who are really setting up for full-time touring, really heavy-duty sort of gear. In Jace's canopy, we've got 2 lithium batteries going in there, a full Redarc electronic system. There's fridges, there's lights, there's twin compressors. Pretty much anything you could ever imagine that you would want in a canopy, we're putting it in this one. He's got the capabilities of running a coffee machine for Simon if he wants to. So there's lots of different things that we can do. Inside the door here, we've got wiring looms running under the trims. Everything's got to be nice and secure. They do lots of corrugation, lots of vibration, so you've got to make sure everything is secure and that it can't move. You go to the front of the vehicle here, underneath the bonnet of this car, we've replaced the start battery with a pretty flashy lithium battery. We've also put in an auxiliary battery under the bonnet off its own charging system. So this auxiliary battery under the bonnet, it's a lithium battery. This one is for the things inside the vehicle that need to be charged, that you don't want running off your start battery. We've also got twin isolators on this vehicle. So one is so that Jace can shut off the whole power to the truck, the whole thing goes dead. The second one is for both the winches, so both winches can be shut off and isolated.
All right, Jake, so Redarc Red Vision. So we're going to chuck Red Vision in now. I decided to go Red Vision in this because it's in the 79. Back in black. Yep. And I loved it. Absolutely loved it. Having the 2 screens is what made it perfect for me. One in the cab and one here. So I want to do exactly the same here. I've noticed that you've got a little bit different to Back in Black. Just run me through it, make sure that's all going to come together, you reckon? Okay,
well, the reason we do it like this, we mount everything to the headboard and we sync everything into the electrical panels.
Gotcha.
The reason we do that is to maximise your canopy storage space. Also protect all that electrical gear.
We've got the Manager 30, which drives the Red Vision unit.
Yep.
Okay, and then so if we move the fridge right over to there,
right,
I'll still be able to access here because I've got to be able to use the Manager 30 to charge the system while I'm sitting while the vehicle's sitting stationary in the shed.
Yep.
Or if my solar runs out, I can then go to generator or I can go to remote solar.
And then if you ever have a problem, the Red Vision system, it's got the fuse box built into it.
Yeah.
If one of the fuses blows, you've got a little red light that comes up.
Yeah, you've got that system in there.
It's all tagged, so it's right where you can get to it. It's practical.
All right, mate, air. This is the biggest thing with this truck is I want to get the air system sorted. Now, it's going to be fairly complicated because you've got a rear winch, You've got a front winch which uses air.
Yep.
We've also got air bags which come part of the conversion. And I want you to set that thing in the truck.
That looks pretty flash. And I imagine we're going to have a hose reel as well.
Yeah. So this is what this is. This is the Tyre Spider, right,
Yep.
from Clearview. Now, what I want to do is I want to permanently mount it in here, so it becomes a fixture of the truck. And then what I'm thinking, hold that. What I'm thinking is instead of having a bag full of hoses, I want to have this connected running to the front and to the back, so that if I want to pump the 4 tyres on this car all at once,
Yep.
all I've got to do is have 4 short little hoses. You put a little socket fitting in here somewhere, and I just go click, bang, put it on the tyre, go around 4 tyres, and then all I do is go open that, open the little valves on here, right? And then I can see all 4 tyres pump up at once.
At one, so it's quick and practical.
Exactly, and having 2 compressors, 2 double cylinder compressors, because there's another air tank sitting under there as well.
Yep.
So you can imagine, I can pull over the side of the road and go, oh, it's time to pump the tyres up because I've been on the beach, and it's just put 4 hoses on, go like that, and the whole car just goes.
Perfect, and it all goes to the same
And you can
pressure.
see, you can see the same pressure.
And that's
Job done.
adjustable, easy adjustable.
Well, here's the thing too. This is the kicker. If I want to put 43 in the front, in the back, and 40 in the front, all I do is I turn off that one, so that these keep pumping up. So once I hit 40, turn the front one off, the back keeps going, 43, stop, done.
Perfect.
How cool is that?
Perfect. So we've got to put this somewhere where it's accessible, but out of the way at the same time.
So the other thing too is I've got a red arc panel being permanently fixed.
Yes.
If I want to do remote solar with the blanket, put it on the bonnet, then I reckon we put it on this side, the connection on this side.
Yeah,
on
correct.
the outside of the canopy.
And you'll find with what we do, with all those little things that you want to use, like your water pump, your solar input,
Yep.
your water tap, things like that, we put it all on the curb side. So if you
Yes.
pull up on the side of the road,
Yeah.
you're not in traffic's way.
Gotcha.
But yeah, solar connection in there. We can put it in the canopy if you want.
Yep.
Up to you. This is
right.
where we take your input, our input,
Yeah, gotcha.
merge in the middle.
All right, so what's happening on the other side now?
All right, let's have a look.
On this side of the canopy, so this is generally where inputs like USB, 12-volt sockets, power. So
240 volt power.
yeah, 240. So 2,000 watt inverter. Yep.
Yep, Red Arc 2000 watt inverter.
So you bring in an electrician, so a 240 volt electrician,
Correct.
and you put a power socket into the. Well, you're going to fix it into there.
That's right. So the inverter's flush mounted into the electrical panel.
Yep.
You don't need to touch it at all.
Yep.
We've got a GPO outlet, so one on the driver's side, one on the passenger side.
Yes, that's what I wanted because I'm using appliances like charging stuff on this side, but then on the other side I got a kitchen,
Yep.
and I'm going to be using 240 appliances as well.
And it's just like you're at home. You plug it in, same as you plug it into
Switch
your
it on.
wall at home, switch it on,
Yeah, perfect.
away you go.
And that will have a circuit breaker built into the system as per electrical standard.
Absolutely.
Yeah, perfect. What about the 12 volt power?
All right, so in this canopy, we're putting 200 amp hour lithium batteries.
Yeah, that was the other thing. Remember I rang you on the phone and I said, I felt as though that 200 amp hours in my truck, it was like on a borderline, especially if I sat for 3 weeks. And you know, it's a long time, but I do actually sit for 3 weeks on my holidays with my family. And if my kids decide they're going to absorb my power a bit faster than normal with their iPads and all that crap, which they shouldn't be on, by the way, I find the two, you know, when I plug in the ice machine, you know, I want all the luxuries.
Absolutely.
And I'm making pina coladas.
Yep.
I find that it's probably it's been borderline, and so that's why I said we need to go double that.
Definitely. So 400 amp hours of lithium power in this thing.
It's going to be serious.
You've got as much power as you could ever want.
Yeah, I'm hoping. That's what I'm hoping. Yeah, 400 amp hours. Look, it might be a bit of an overkill, but let's face it, I'm probably one of the few that really use it to its full potential.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah.
The last thing you need is to get stuck out in the bush with no power.
100%, 110%, 110% power. The other thing we've changed on this as well is we're going, well, not changed, but I've got a pressure pump on one side for water,
Yes.
and then we've got water on this side, which is gravity fed.
Correct.
Now, because it's being what we called roadside connection, they call it a roadside connection, where you actually connect the water to the tap, and then force it into the tank. You don't have a filler.
That's a suction thing.
Yeah. And so as long as that's not going to affect my pressure pump, which it shouldn't,
Nope.
then no problem. All right, so the front of the vehicle now. Now this is the canopy. The canopy's good. We got some good lighting as well. These new lights that you've got, I like them.
Yep. So you know
They're pretty
orange
cool.
light in the
Yeah,
middle, that sort of
100% got to have orange light. What are we looking at in the front here? So I see we got an overhead console.
So we've gone ahead and put the overhead console in there. It's got your UHF in there. It reuses the standard sunny holders, that sort of thing.
Yeah, gotcha.
We've put extra power up there for you, your USBs for
Yeah.
your cameras, charging, etc.
Yeah, that's a big thing.
You've also got a full-time rear view camera system. So you've got a screen on the dash.
Yep.
The camera's on the top of the rear of the canopy,
Yep.
so you know what's behind you.
Yeah, so one top, one bottom.
One top, one bottom.
Yep, perfect.
We've also got the onboard air set up in here, so you can sit in your driver's seat.
Yeah.
You've got your little gauge with your airbag pressures.
I find that very important. Adjusting the airbags is very important
On
for
the
me.
fly.
Yeah, 100%, especially when you're doing a lot of towing. I also need, because I've got the winches front and rear now, and they also are air operated,
Yes.
then with the button, the internal button, so I can operate the winch from sitting in the cab. Not gone to the old days, mate, where you get that thing with the cable and you walk outside and you go into the mud hole and you plug it in.
Yeah.
No, mate. I just hit a button, Simon walks over the front of the car, pulls it out, auto, air free spool.
Yep.
And then I can just operate the winch from inside. I don't even got to get out, mate. Simon's going to love it.
Perfect.
So yeah, and can you make sure that the air is connected to the forward and reverse of the winch button?
Definitely.
So that at 100% of the time my compressor is on, because the compressor runs the brakes on the winch and the compressor runs the air free spool.
That's right. So when up in the dash here,
Yep.
your airbag switches, your winch switches, as soon as you touch them,
Yep.
they automatically turn on your onboard air compressor system.
Perfect. That's what I'm looking for. Towing, so you've got the Red Arc installed, I see.
Yep, the Red Arc Tow Pro Elite.
Yeah, that's the Red Arc. That's the latest one, version 2.
That's right. That's
Yep.
the brand spanker.
Yeah, perfect. I see that. That's excellent.
We've got a million switches in here for all your
Yep.
work lights, spotlights, bull bar lights,
Yep.
everything you could ever want.
I know we haven't got to mounting, light bars and stuff yet.
Not yet.
So I've actually got to put the new Rhino Rack roof rack on.
Yes.
So that's actually right here.
Right here, and it is you beaut. Awesome
Yeah,
gear.
That's what I can't wait to see that.
Yeah.
I can't wait to see that on my truck. Well, that's
really,
good.
really easy to mount light bars to it, run
Yep.
wiring through it.
Gotcha.
Just a lot more practical.
Yeah. All right. Well, I'll tell you what. I better let you get back to work
Definitely.
and keep working on it, and I'll go and organise some more stuff to bring down so that we can get this project done.
Get it done. Get you on the road.
Thanks, mate.
Beauty.
Awesome.
Thank you.
Okay, so I've opted for the Red Vision system to run the whole canopy. So it's going to run everything involved with the canopy. The lithium batteries, obviously, are the power source. It comes in through the Red Vision system, and then you run the whole system either from the control panel, which is going to sit on over that side and in the front of the car as well. So 2 control panels. And the other one is, of course, the Red Vision app, where I can control everything from my phone. And you know, some people say, "Oh, why do I need to use my phone?" Well, here's an idea. You're up in your rooftop tent, okay? You're sitting up in your rooftop tent. It's about time to go to bed, and you go, "Oh crap! I just left all the lights on in the truck. I just spent half an hour dusting all the sand off my feet, spraying myself with mozzie repellent, and and all that sort of stuff. And then I don't want to crawl all the way back out, get hammered by mozzies, and then go back up in and then you know what I mean? You know what I'm talking about. Well, I can actually just pull up my phone and go, turn lights off, and all my lights will turn off. Or here's another one. I was on holidays, and me and the wife were up in the rooftop tent, and she hears a rustle in the bushes. And of course, my wife can be paranoid sometimes about crocodiles and all that sort of stuff. The kids, are over sleeping in the camper trailer, and she wants to know, Jace, did you hear that noise? And I'm like, oh, yeah, go to sleep. It'll just be a kangaroo or a little numbat running around the bush. But she won't let it lie. So what have I got to do? I'll get my app out and I go, turn the light on, boom. Look out the window. See, honey, it's a little numbat running around our campsite, eating those mangoes you left out. That's where it could work. That's all I could think of. So the beauty of that Red Vision system is, yes, it's operated through a Bluetooth setup on your phone, or the old, input with your screen. So that's the system we're going to run, and that'll run this whole setup from compressor to the fridge to the outside lights, inside lights, USB outputs, you name it, water pump, you name it. So I think it's a really good system for this setup. All right, so while we're here, you'll see I've got some stuff laid out on the bench here. Now, this is another thing that I forgot to mention. So first of all, there's the Red Vision screen. So that's there without obviously the cover on it. So there's a couple of those. That's so I can operate the system from the panel, or like I said, the app on the phone. So all this stuff is now got to go into that truck. I'm going to leave Jake with it. So there we go, canopy's going to get wired up now. Hopefully the set out is going to be as I sort of pictured it in my head, which I reckon it will be here. But anyway, stick around because I've got more rig build videos to come, and they're going to be hanging out on YouTube.